You know, I swear to God, brain cells and human beings don't fucking go together. I swear to God. I just recorded 6 minutes of a podcast for some retard to... You know what? I'm not even getting into it. I'm not even getting into it. let me calm down. Let me start this over. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna be friendly again. Hello. We are back talking about the last movie in this franchise. Thankfully, because this movie franchise sucks. I think this franchise sucks. First of all, there's people that say that Terminator Terminator shouldn't even be a franchise. I 100% agree with that. And, you know, honestly, I don't think it should be a franchise. I think it should just be Terminator 1, 2, and then Salvation. Because I would be fine with Terminator 2 saying, oh... What was I gonna say? Like, I would be fine with Terminator 2 saying, oh, they stopped Judgment Day. And then, like, Salvation is like, oh, it's an alternate timeline where they didn't win. You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, you know, things like that. And I know that makes me sound like a hypocrite. Oh, well, you don't like Genesis. I don't like Genesis because of a lot of the things. They just don't make sense. An alternate timeline where they won, where the machines still, you know, happen, that to me makes more sense than everything else that happened in Terminator Genesis. What was I gonna say? So, with that said, we have Terminator Dark Fate. Movie came out last year. I was gonna review it for you guys, but I never got to it. There was a lot going on. I was moving. You know, it was a whole bunch of shit going on. There's a lot of movies that I was planning on reviewing and never did. One of them was Dark Fate. I forgot what other movie. I think it was Zombieland. I never reviewed Zombieland Double Tap, which... I mean, the movie's good. The movie's good. That's my short review. The movie's good. But I just never got to reviewing it because there was, again, what I just said. Terminator Dark Fate. Right off the bat, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I really like this movie. Do I think it's Terminator 2 or Terminator 1? No, no question. Do I think it's a leap in quality in terms of the sequels that are not Terminator Salvation? 100%. I think that this is a great... see, there we go. I think it's a really good follow-up to Terminator 2. Right? Like, I think it's a proper sequel to Terminator 2. Because Genesis is not a sequel. Genesis is fucking fan fiction. And Terminator 3 is terrible. You know, Salvation is good. But I think this is a really good sequel to Terminator 2. You know, it doesn't come off as embarrassing. It comes off, you know, genuine, like people cared. So, we're gonna get into it. Right off the bat, this movie starts with footage of Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 talking to the police about how, like, Judgment Day was gonna come and happen. And, you know, I like that. It makes you feel like, you know, you're back in this franchise. It really does make you feel like warm, like, ooh, we're back, like no more games. You know, I love that. So then this future cock teases me once again with the fucking future shit, cause this franchise is fucking knows. These people know, man. These people are probably behind the scenes, like, oh, you want a movie set in the future? Ha 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 ha! No. That's my imitation of the people working at Paramount and Fox. And a little bit of James Cameron. So, we see the future Terminators, which, you know, they look a little bit different. Like, the chess piece is different. So, I guess it would be a new model. It's not the Rev 9. I know it's not the Rev 9. Because the Rev 9's head looks a lot different. I know it's definitely not the Rev 9. So... the first shot of this movie is narrated by Sarah Connor. Well, not first shot, the first scene. We get a narration from Sarah Connor. We see a de-aged Sarah Connor, like Terminator 2 Sarah Connor. First of all, the CGI looks great, like really good. Then we see a de-aged, well, I guess it would be CGI because it's not de-aged John Connor. It's just like young John Connor. So then we get the what the fuck moment of this movie that I hate with a passion. They kill John Connor in 30 seconds of this movie, pretty much. It's what it feels like, at least. Why? Alien 3 came out almost 20 years ago. Why are we repeating the mistakes that happened in Alien 3? There was no need for John Connor to kill him. You couldn't have this movie, like, they were on the run from Terminators, and, you know, like, something. Like, they were on the run, and maybe they didn't have to send another Terminator to protect them, because, you know, Sarah and John both know how to kill fucking Terminators. Maybe you could have just had it be that they were just on the run from Terminators. And maybe they sent Arnold back. I would have been fine with that. Because then you would have had the ending of Terminator 2 happen without kind of happening. You know, Arnold would have technically stayed. So I like that. I would have been fine with that. But no, this movie just says, "Aha, fuck you, Terminator fans." Kills John Connor in 5 minutes. In 30 seconds. That's what it feels like. I don't like it. I don't like it because of the way the movie goes, and I just don't like it overall. I didn't like it when I first saw it. I didn't like it the second time I watched it, and I didn't like it when I rewatched this last night. Moving on, we see New Mexico, and we get our introduction to the new heroine Terminator, played by Mackenzie Davis. Very awesomely, by the way. I think she's fucking awesome. I feel like this is what the TX was supposed to be. You know, only Terminator 3 fucking failed miserably, and this movie does not. Again, Mackenzie Davis is fucking awesome. I'll get more into why I really like Mackenzie Davis, but one thing that appreciate in this movie a lot. This movie doesn't shove Mackenzie Davis down your throat. And what I mean is that she comes off as a badass by her actions. It's not like, you know, Captain Marvel, where she's just shoved in your face. And I get it, Captain Marvel's the main character, but she's not like shoved in your face to the point where you're just like, okay, we get it, she's supposed to be a badass, bro. This movie does not do that at all. She proves herself to be a badass throughout the rest of this movie, and she's fucking awesome. I love her as the Terminator, and I just love her, like I love the Terminator that she is. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I like what she is. We'll get into that in a little bit towards the end. So she lands, and, you know, I don't know what it is with the Terminator movies. Like, every time a Terminator lands, it's got to be a comedic scene if it's not the first one. Well, I mean, the T-1000 didn't land their comedic scene, but more than not, it happens in a comedic scene. It happened with it happened with Kyle Reese a little bit. What the I'm getting jumped over here, bro. You guys seeing this? It happened with Kyle Reese a little bit to a certain extent. T2, it happened with Arnold. It was kind of comedic, kind of not. Like, it was kind of cool. It was more cool than comedic. Terminator 3, definitely comedic. Both of them were comedic. Kyle Reese was just like, he was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I'm so confused. And yeah. So, once again, we get a comedic scene. It was okay, I guess. Let me gather myself here with my notes. So then we get introduced to our new character, main character, Danny. I don't remember the actress's name. She does okay. I don't really have anything against the actress, excuse me. I bet you the comment section just fucking blew up off of me making that mistake. But I don't mind her. She does what she has to do. That's just the way I see it. Like, she doesn't bother me. You know, she does what she has to do. And she's our new main character. We see her with her family and shit. So then her brother and her go to work at the factory or whatever. Then they reveal that her brother's like getting replaced by a machine, which I found ironic. Then we are introduced to the Rev 9 Terminator, played by Gabriel Luna, who is fucking incredible. I love the Rev 9. Sue me. I love the Rev 9. I fucking love the Rev 9. The Rev 9 is one of my favorite movie villains. You heard that on this podcast. You can quote me for it and put it anywhere. I love the Rev 9. I say that 5 times fast. I fucking love the Rev 9. He is fucking awesome. First of all, Gabriel Luna does a hell of a job as the Terminator. Fantastic work. He's almost as good as the T-1000 in terms of acting. Like the human side of him. He's fucking awesome. I love him. I love what the Rev 9 can do. I love the performance. Everything about it is just awesome. I love it. You know, even watching this movie again, I fucking loved it. It was such a great, you know, first of all, it was a great breath of fresh air. I mean, granted, we had John Connor Terminator, which wasn't that bad. But, you know, it was refreshing to have a villain like the T-1000 that was A, menacing, and B, just really cool. You know, I liked Jason Clarke's performance as the Terminator, but I didn't really think the Terminator himself was all that cool. I really didn't think anything of it. That was just me. But, you know, I love this. I love the Rev 9. Enough me sucking the cock of the Rev 9, okay? So, we get the Rev 9 killing Danny's parents off, well, Danny's dad off screen. We know because he replicates himself, and I think they made a mention of it once in one movie that I think it was Terminator 2 that they were like, oh, if the Terminator replicates somebody, that is gonna kill them. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it in Terminator 2, if I'm correct. I'm sorry, I was just really focused on fucking killing him. So, we get the first major action sequence. So obviously, the Terminator is there to kill Danny. Or Donnie, whatever the fuck her name is. It's Danny. I'm gonna call her Danny. Cause it's Daniela. Daniela, Danny, you get the fucking point. So we get the first major action sequence with the Terminators, and this shit. This movie knew. Oh, the action in Terminator Genesis was lame. They want the real shit. This shit is awesome, bro. The first action sequence is fucking awesome. Get Mackenzie Grace, that's her name, Grace, coming in, boom, 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 shooting that motherfucker up. The skin going back just like the T-1000. Then you see them fucking beating the shit out of each other. It's fucking awesome, bro. First of all, it's all in camera. The effects don't look cheesy as shit. They look real. Everything looks real. It doesn't look fake. You know, it looks, well, some of it. To a certain extent, it looks real. But regardless, it still doesn't look like shit like it did in Terminator 3. That's what I'll say. I hated the fight scenes in Terminator 3. They all looked ridiculous. But, you know, this shit was awesome. Then it goes from a full-on one-on-one fight to a fucking truck chase on a highway, which is fucking awesome. This shit was insane. I love it. I love it. This is what I want from a Terminator movie. Good action. This shit is awesome. You know, they chase them down, then... Oh, I totally forgot. Oh, wait. I wanted to mention this real quick. So... I wanted to mention Terminator Salvation, right? You guys know how John Connor was a... like, a human hybrid, I guess, of a Terminator, right? I want to know if they took kind of the same route with Grace, because that's basically what she is in this movie. She's a human hybrid. That's what I saw, at least. That's what I think. So I wonder if they took the same route. So then Grace throws like this metal bar at the Rev 9. You wanna know what the Rev 9 does? Rev 9 says, "Who the fuck is this bitch?" He fucking duplicates himself. It was at that moment where I said very proudly, the T-1000 ain't got shit on the Rev 9. That was awesome. That is a whole shit. That is a holy shit moment. When that shit happens. That's one of those moments where you're like, oh fuck. Oh shit. I did not see that one coming. Fucking awesome, dude. I love the if I say I love the Rev 9 one more time, I'm gonna have a stroke. It's fucking awesome, dude. I love it. So, what was I gonna say? Let me get my notes here. So one thing I wanted to mention about this movie is I really don't like how it feels a lot of familiarity. I can't say the word. It feels familiar. That's what I'm trying to say. Meaning, like, the plot is essentially the same thing as Terminator 2 in that you have not Sarah. You have Grace protecting Danny, and you have I don't know, the Rev 9. The Rev 9 trying to kill Danny, right? It's basically Terminator 2, which I'll get into it later why I don't like it, but I don't mind it necessarily in this movie because, excuse me, this movie does a lot of things right. You know, Genesis had a lot more wrongs than right. This movie has a lot more rights than wrong. There's a lot more things to like in this movie than hate on. That is what I hate on. But, you know, I don't have a problem with it at the same time because there's a lot of things I really like in this movie. Moving on. So, then Danny's brother dies. Rest in peace. Yeah. Then it looks like they're about to be killed. And the fucking greatest thing ever happens. Sarah fucking Connor hits this motherfucker, sends this motherfucker flying. Sarah fucking Connor comes out of that fucking car. Oh my god! You get that great thing, bum 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 bum, and bro, she lights this motherfucker, boom bum 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 bum, and fucking blows this motherfucker up. Whoop, boom! I was like, oh my son, bro, tell me, dude, Sarah Connor's back. I love you, Linda Hamilton, so much. Sarah Connor's fucking awesome. I love her. Fucking love her. She's easily the best character in this franchise. Next to John Connor, Terminator 2 John Connor, not Terminator 3 or Genesis. She's easily the best character in this entire franchise. I fucking love her so much. And when she came on screen, it legitimately fucking gave me chills. So she obviously doesn't kill the Terminators because they can't, die that easily. Come on now, we need a whole movie. So we get Grace stealing Sarah's car, which I found fucking hilarious. The way she reacts, she was like, "Motherfucker!" That was funny. So this movie, I like Grace's character again. I really like Grace's character, but I like this touch. So they established that she's not invincible. I mean, Terminators aren't invincible, but she's not like Arnold invincible. She can get hurt a lot. Like she's able to die without like getting shot or blown up. I forgot why, but I'm also sure she needs like this prescription medicine or whatever to stay alive. So like whenever she's kicking ass for too long, she starts feeling like that. I forgot why, but the point is, I really like that they added that to her character because it makes it feel like more, I don't know, it makes you get more invested because you know that she isn't like just invincible like the other Terminators. You know, when you see her like about to die, which she almost does in this movie like twice, I really like that, they added that. I guess it puts more weight on the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. I also like the fact that she's human. She is a human. I love that because she's a dickhead, and I fucking love it. I love dickhead characters. Snoke, Kylo, Thanos. You get the gist. The Terminator in this movie too, dickhead. All of them. Love it. But yeah, she's a dickhead. She cracks jokes that all land, and I think that's another thing. The humor in this movie really works. It's way better than the humor in Terminator 3 or Genesis. There was really no humor in Salvation. It feels like Terminator 2 humor, which I love. But yeah, it makes her feel like more of a real person despite her being a Terminator, and it adds a lot of personality to her, and the humor comes off fairly well. So Sarah finds them in a clinic, I guess, and she takes them to a motel. Then we get the reveal of like what Sarah's gonna do in this, or what she's been doing in this movie. So up to this point, they reveal that Sarah's been killing Terminators that were coming for John, and they sent Terminators like rapid fire. That's a little weird. Like, I always found that so fucking weird, but I was like, okay. So this is my issue though. Her arc in this movie is that she misses John. That's her big main arc, that she misses John Connor, right? Now, the easiest way to you could have still done this. This is my question. Did John Connor have to die for this to happen? I don't think so. You couldn't just have it be that John Connor was tired of just being on the run and being like hunted, that he maybe killed himself. I don't get me wrong, it's dark as fuck, but it's at least interesting. Or maybe he said, oh no, like, I know realistically he wouldn't want to run away from his mom, but I don't know, give it a reason. Maybe Sarah Connor was just getting obsessed with the Terminators to a point where she didn't want, or he didn't want to do it anymore. You know? That could have been interesting. Instead, we get you fucking us over by just killing John Connor with no explanation. And I'm gonna get into the no explanation part. But I really did not like that there was just no explanation for them killing John in this movie, other than making Sarah sad. You could have just had John run away, and that would have been fine. You could have still had the arc, and maybe have John come back when he hears that there's a new Terminator, or Terminators. I don't know, that really bugged me. We get a origin flashback for Grace, which is fucking awesome. The new Terminators are phenomenal. I love the Spider Terminators. They look fucking cool as shit. The R rating, I think, really benefits this movie a lot. I really like the R rating. You know, a lot of F-bombs going around. The effects, it's also very violent too. And it also doesn't make it feel like it's scripted. Like, the character interactions are a lot better and they feel more natural for me. One major positive of this movie, I feel, is the pacing is really fast. The first act of this movie flies. Like, oh, excuse me. Oh, there it goes. Excuse me. Like, I feel like we go from John dying to then the factory to then Sarah talking to Grace in the motel. All of that happened super fast. So then Sarah agrees to help Grace and Danny escape. So then we get an exposition scene where Sarah asks, okay, so where does this Terminator come from if I stopped, you know, Judgment Day? And then Grace says, oh, there's another company. You might have stopped Skynet, but there's another company called Legion, right? That made more Terminators. This is where my frustrations come in. This is my biggest negative of this movie. So I had to ask now, is this series on a constant loop? This is the same question I begged in Terminator Genesis. They try and say that Skynet doesn't exist in the future, which would mean Sarah and John stopped Judgment Day. But then Grace says that Legion is a thing and the attack takes place anyway, so Judgment Day kind of takes place anyway. So
reposition immediately.
She says that a cyber attack happens and it kills millions. So Judgment Day happens, just in a different form. I don't understand what the point of all these movies is happening. Or I don't understand what the point of all these movies happening is if they will result in the same thing every time. It's literally the same thing every time. No matter how many times they try, nothing will change. This is my issue with this franchise. That's my issue with this franchise. They refuse to change. That is my issue with this franchise, a lot. That's my big issue with all of these movies. Especially Genesis, which was basically the same fucking thing, beat for beat, of Terminator 2. Terminator 3 was the same thing, changed nothing other than the ending of Judgment Day happening. Salvation was the only movie in this franchise that legitimately tried changing something. Which is why I appreciate it a lot. But this franchise, again, it cannot stray away from the same thing. You couldn't have this movie just be something totally different. Why does it have to lead to Judgment Day? And don't tell me, oh, well, it's not Judgment Day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is Judgment Day. It's the same thing. Nothing is gonna change. The only thing that's different is that it's a different company running the show. What is different? People die, machines come to life. What is the difference? I have to know. There's no difference. This is what pisses me off. What is the point of making 6 movies if only one of them are gonna change something? Or 4 movies because 4 of them are sequels. Or 5 movies. What is the point of making 4 movies to have only one really change something from... Well, not even. Okay, 3, because Terminator 2 was legit sequel. What is the point of changing... What is the point of making 3 movies if none of them are gonna change it? 4, right? I don't know how to count anymore. You get the point. What is the point of making sequels if you're not gonna change anything from the first 2 movies that established the franchise? It makes no sense. It irritates the fuck out of me and it makes no sense. I hate it. So they end up in prison because they try crossing the border to get away from the Terminator. And they have to go to somebody's house. And like Grace had some coordinates on her chest or whatever. So they reveal that the T101 or T800, I don't know the model name. I get it wrong every video. Regardless, I don't care. Arnold. They go to Arnold's house. Arnold, from the beginning of the movie, is still alive. He's all old and shit. Which would make sense, because Sarah... I mean, I would assume that Sarah would have killed him, but I guess not. So... Number 1, Arnold is fucking great in this movie. He's almost as good as he was in T2, if not better. I fucking love him in this movie. His performance is hilarious. It's just so comical. The humor in this movie, again, is hilarious. I love it. It's so fucking funny and weird. They gave him a conscience, which, again, that's a little weird, but I'll take it because it's entertaining as fuck. No, I'm not gonna sit here and complain. You know, it's entertaining. If it's entertaining, then fuck it. Granted, Genesis is entertaining in all the wrong ways. So it's this point where they're like revealing Danny. Oh, his name is Carl, by the way. Arnold. His name is Carl, which you get a great line from Sarah when she goes, or Arnold tells her, "Oh, my name is Carl. Everybody calls me Carl," and Sarah goes, "I'm never gonna fucking call you Carl." Fucking love it. And also he is an interior designer. Okay. Danny, they're trying to think about how to kill the Terminator, and they decide to use Danny as bait, and Danny's like, "Oh, I don't care how we fucking kill this thing, we're gonna fucking kill it." And this is where Danny really shines. I like, you know, somebody who's, you know, it took Sarah Connor the whole movie to get like this, but with Danny, it takes her half the movie to realize, okay, enough shit. Like, you know, we gotta get to work. You know, and I really like that. I really like that it doesn't take her mad long to realize, okay, this is what has to be done. I like her character. She's not developed a whole lot, but I like her attitude and the way she acts. Then we find out that Arnold has a family, which I guess is weird. Oh, this is what I forgot to mention. So, the Terminator that killed John, right? Excuse me. The Terminator that killed John, he like feels bad for killing John, which I kind of don't like that. It's a little bit weird to me that they did that. Like, I find it weird that he just grows a conscience. I don't know. I've never been really crazy about that. They gave him a family, which, again, it's heartwarming, but at the same time, absolutely fucking hilarious that he has a wife and a kid. Well, he didn't have the kid, which I'd love to see them try to explain that one. I like the line from Sarah where she looks at the picture, she goes, "Oh, you got a little Terminator family. Is that your little Terminator kid?" I fucking love it. Linda Hamilton, you are amazing. So then Arnold agreed, or Carl. I'm just gonna call him Arnold. I'm not gonna call him Carl. But look, just like Sarah Connor would say, I'm never gonna fucking call him Carl. So Arnold agrees to help them. We got our mission. They gotta go get an EMP to destroy the Rev 9. So we're waiting to see the meeting happen, and Arnold is giving us a lesson on interior decorating, which had me screeching with laughter in the theater and when rewatching it both times. I put in my notes, I could listen to Arnold talking about interior decorating for 2 hours and it would be 10 times better than Terminator Genesis. I'm not joking. So then Grace reveals that Danny is going to be the new John Connor, basically. Again, these are my frustrations. Why kill John Connor to then just have Danny become the new John Connor? This is what pisses me off. I don't understand. What is the point? This is the same issue I had with Terminator Genesis. You know, they say, oh, none of this happens, none of this happens. Oh, Terminator 1, 2, 3, 4 never happened, right? But it makes no sense. They retcon it only to have it done in a different way. I don't understand. What is the point? If you're gonna retcon something, change something. Oh, it's a different character. Okay, yes, it's a different character, but it's the same thing. She's just John Connor as a female. What is the point of retconning if it's gonna be the same result? This is what infuriates me. That's just lazy to me. I don't like that. Moving on. Third act. I love the third act of this movie. It's fucking awesome. Pure action for 40 minutes. I love it. We got the plane action sequence, which is just fucking awesome. Terminators beating the shit out of each other, guns blazing, you know, the whole shit. Then we get to an underwater fight scene, which is okay, I guess. Then we get to the final showdown between the Rev 9 and everybody else. The lighting before the final showdown to me was actually really bad. I had to turn the brightness on my TV up a lot because it was just really dark and I couldn't see what the fuck was going on. So then we get a great line. I forgot what the Rev 9 said to Sarah Connor, but then she goes, "We're not machines, you metal motherfucker." That is amazing. The way she said that line. I need her as a motivational speaker. Or if aliens were to ever come to Earth, I would want Linda Hamilton to basically tell them, go fuck yourself. That would be the greatest thing ever. So we get the fight with the Arnold Terminator and the Rev 9 and Grace. It's fucking awesome. It's so desperate, you know, like it feels desperate, like, oh, we gotta kill this thing now. I love Grace with her fucking chain, fucking splitting that thing in half. Them fucking fighting both sides, both like duplicates of the Terminator at the same time. Shit is fucking incredible, bro. I fucking love this movie sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. So then they kill the first, like, Terminator. I say first because, you know, he splits in half. then Grace is like, oh, the only way to kill the other one is by taking my power source. So Grace, unfortunately, dies. So they kill Grace. Well, they are not, you know, happily, of course. And Danny goes to fight the Rev 9, which was fucking hilarious. I laughed so hard. Like, it's like, really? Okay. Then Arnold comes, saves the day, shoves that power source right in this motherfucker's head, and throws him down a shaft. Arnold goes with him, and I think they like both melt or something. Oh yeah, the power source explodes, and Arnold and the Rev 9 both die. Want to mention, I love the way the Rev 9 looks when it like it's basically destroyed and it can't like shift anymore. I love that because he tried shifting and like he just fucking fell apart like a crumbled cookie. I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it. So then the movie's ending. They show that Grace is alive, like the younger self. Like they show Danny meeting up with her, I think. Oh no, they just show like Danny looking at her or whatever. So basically they show that Sarah and Danny, yeah, you see, I call Danny John because that's who's basically who the fuck she is. They show Danny and Sarah going on into the sunset, and bum 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 bum, that's it, movie's over. So my final thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's the best Terminator sequel to follow Terminator 2, next to the one that I'll tell you guys in a second. But I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I think it's definitely a worthy sequel to Terminator 2. Very worthy. It doesn't feel like an embarrassment. It feels like people took it seriously. Overall, I think it's a great time. Now, it is time to rank the Terminator franchise. So, I'm gonna run this by really quick, because I'm done talking about this fucking franchise. So, we have 6 movies, right? Number 6, Terminator 3. Embarrassing. I fucking hate that movie. Garbage. Number 5 is Terminator Genesis. I love how absurd it is, but in the end, no, embarrassing. Number 4, Terminator Dark Fate. I really like the movie, but the familiarity of it all just doesn't cut it for me. Number 3 is Terminator Salvation. I really appreciate this movie more than others because of how different it felt. It gave me my future movie to a certain extent, and I just really, really, really enjoy that movie. Number 2 is the first Terminator. The Terminator. I love that movie. It's a great horror sci-fi movie. You know, it's fucking perfect. Number 1, obviously, Terminator 2, baby! Terminator 2 is one of the greatest action movies of all time. If somebody said otherwise, I think I'd have to punch them in the throat. But there you go, guys. That is it. I am done talking about Terminator. It's been interesting. I won't say that I feel the same starting this franchise as I did. Like, my feelings for this franchise aren't the same as when I started. I was really excited to go and watch this franchise, but now I'm over it because of the mediocrity. That's the word I would use to describe the franchise. Mediocre. Honestly, because they had so many opportunities to do something different. They just do the same thing every time, unless it was Salvation, which really is disappointing. That the one movie in this franchise that was different was the one directed by fucking Mick G of all people, bro. By the way, the action of this movie is actually fucking awesome. They got the director of Deadpool. Good fucking shit. Well, anyhow, that is it. Thank you guys so much for going through this journey with me and Kevin, who's not here because he failed to watch the movie. Which... what am I gonna do with him? If you enjoyed this series and this ranking, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Especially those likes, man. That gets us recommended. I need those likes, man. Please. Be seeing 16 views on a video with no likes. What's up with y'all, bro? It's not that hard. Just click the thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, please check out the other reviews in the Terminator franchise on the channel right now in the playlist, which I will leave a link to in the description below. And as always, stay safe and be on the lookout for the next franchise that me and Kevin will be doing soon. See you later, guys. Stay safe and take care.